So, what information would a police officer ask me for, and do I legally have to give them this information?
Yeah, so officers normally will ask you, what's your name? Where do you live? What are you doing? Why are you here today? Just general questions. Do you have anything on you that you shouldn't? Which is a normal kind of question when they're searching you, particularly to safeguard them as well, in case if there's a knife, for example, and then they could hurt themselves. So those are kind of the basic standard questions that they start off with. Again, our advice is to be compliant. And there are different nuances in the law. So, for example, if they were stopping you because of some sort of antisocial behaviour, if you refuse to give details in those circumstances, that is a criminal offence. Or if you give false details. So it's very important to be aware of that. So our advice is refusing to give details is not necessarily going to be helpful. And hopefully, if you have a nicer officer, if you engage with them, then the process should be quicker and move along. And if you refuse to provide your name and things like that, they could then try to arrest you if they think that you're a suspect that's committed an offence. So if you're matching a description of someone that's committed a robbery in the area and they think that you're a suspect, then they can try to arrest you if you're not giving those details, because they will say, well, it's necessary in order to investigate. This person could run off and we can't find them again. So it's necessary. They can't simply, stop you because you're not giving them information. But if they have stopped you and are explaining this, then it is best to provide those details.
Yeah, I mean, what we often see is there's quite a bit of concern around if a police officer was to ask for your name and your address, and you have a last name that is quite a well-known name within the community, or you live on a caravan site or in an area where there is quite a lot of community members, that you might then be treated differently. So I suppose that's something that's usually of quite a bit of concern. That once the police officer knows you're from a traveller or a gypsy site, that you might then be treated differently.
Sure, no, I absolutely understand that concern. The law says you shouldn't be treated differently because you are from that community. Unfortunately, we do know that the police don't always follow the laws. But
Yeah.
in principle, you shouldn't be treated differently because of that.